5-star dummy.
Yeah. Good morning. April football. College football in April. You gotta love it. Ohio State spring game. If you guys want to watch along at home, this is on regular broadcast TV, Fox. Ohio State spring game. So, new offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, new quarterback, Will Howard, I guess. Will Howard. We'll probably see the other guy, too. What's the other guy's name? Devin Brown. Sure, we'll see both of them. What about Julian Sayin, the freshman? I think he enrolled early, right? So he should be there, too. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. Everybody enjoying their Masters Week? Masters Week here in beautiful Augusta, Georgia. Weather great today. About 80 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, too. So shout out to all the golfer type people who are out there. Jelly Roll. It's always funny to see who shows up here for the Masters. You get celebrities every year. Some come every year. Some every few years. Some it's a one-time deal. Jelly Roll all over the place down here for some. You got any Jelly Roll fans in the chat today? It's like an Augusta resident tradition for a lot of Augusta people during Masters Week. They go around to some of the more popular restaurants or bars or nightclubs or whatever, and they try to see what famous people can I take a picture of and post on Facebook. And there's all kinds of pictures floating around of Jelly Roll. So shout out to Jelly Roll. How's everybody doing? Daniel Paul, Jay Shipes, Jeremy Garrettson, Snake Spence, Wayne says sell it. What's up, Wayne? Victor Reiser, Dylan Mullins, D. Taylor, Floby, Hey Yo Splitta, 912. 912. What are you, Statesboro? What? What else is down there? Screven County? Washington, Georgia? What? Or Washington County? What? We'll see how Will Howard will look. Yeah, that's right, Floby. Scotty Barnes, what's up, buddy? Young Seminole. Woe Todd says, hope Georgia loses today. Yeah. Bet you do. Nick Koenig, what's up, buddy? Appreciate you hitting the super chat to help support the stream. You're the MVP, buddy. He says, what's up, Lou? Go Bucks, excited for this season. Yeah, first look at a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of coaching changes. I don't know. Opinions vary, I think, on what you can or can't get from watching a spring game. To me, I like to watch what's new. So whether that's a new offensive style because you've got a new coach or coordinator, you've got a new quarterback, whatever like that, right? And then incoming freshmen, especially the highly rated ones, like for Ohio State, Julian Sayin, the quarterback. For the Georgia fans, we're missing a Malachi Stark's not playing today, All-American safety. So we should get to see a lot of KJ Bolden today. Some Ellis Robinson at corner, two really, really highly rated incoming true freshmen for Georgia. So that's what I like to watch the spring games for. You guys know I'm not an X's and O's guy. I'm not an analytical type of guy. I don't watch any football, whether it's spring or regular season or postseason or what, to sort of break down schemes and X's and O's and play calls and things like that. So when it comes to the spring games, I like to see what I've never seen before. New quarterbacks, new coaches, incoming freshmen. I mentioned it in the video I made earlier. Maybe it's because I'm a complete idiot. I don't know. In a spring game, it's hard for me to get anything out of a defense, really. It's hard for me to watch a spring game and come away going, wow, the defense is going to be really good, or wow, the defense is going to be really bad. It's easier for me, for whatever reason, to single out offensive players. Like, this quarterback threw 3 interceptions, missed wide open receivers, he looks terrible. Or, this wide receiver made 3 circus catches and burned the defense all day, he might be pretty good. To me, that's easier to do in these spring games. Maybe some of you are different. Maybe some of you can watch these games and come up with something Defensively, I don't know. But for me, it's more of an offensive sort of showcase, really, for a lot of these teams. The two-time, thank you for the super chat. Very generous. I really appreciate that, sir. He says, go Dogs. Yeah, go Dogs. They come on at 1? 1 o'clock? It's streaming on SEC Network and ESPN Plus. So we're going to watch the Ohio State game right now. It's getting ready to start at 12. And then at 1 o'clock, a lot of other games come on. We'll put some of the other games on some of the other TVs. And we'll keep an eye on several of these games this afternoon. I got 3 things I'm doing today for these spring games. Well, 4 if you count the video. So I made a preview video earlier today. Make sure you click back and watch that if you haven't. I talk about a lot of the teams that are playing in spring games today. Miami, Tennessee, LSU, Arkansas, Georgia, Florida, Bama, Ohio State. I hit on a lot of teams. We're doing this stream now. That's number 2. We'll keep this stream going till probably around, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock, something like that. And then we're going to move to Patreon. We're going to do the afternoon stream over on Patreon. So all of you who are members of the Patreon page, you know how that works. I'll post a link over on Patreon around 3:30 or 4. Just click that link. It'll take you to the afternoon stream, and we'll watch some more college football. I know Alabama comes on at 4, several games coming on this afternoon. And then immediately after the Alabama game ends, I don't know how many of you watch Bleacher Report, their live streams or their app or whatever it is they have. I'll be live on Bleacher Report as soon as the Alabama game ends to talk about the Alabama game. It looks like no tackling in the Ohio State game, which is a fucking shame. First play of the game is a running play off left tackle, and it's 2-hand touch. So, I mean, you get a lot of this in the spring. I think it's fucking ridiculous. Some teams tackle, some teams don't. This running back doesn't have a non-contact jersey on, but 2-hand touch and they blow the play dead. Shotgun this time, pass for Ohio State, dumps it off down low to Travion Henderson, who's 2-hand touched, and they blow the fucking whistle again. This is pointless. This is pointless here. This is pointless. I don't know what you're doing. This is look. I don't want to get into the soft thing with Ohio State because they did have a really, really good defense last year, and that's been the primary knock. When you talk about Ohio State being soft, has been their bad defense over the last few years. It was a top 5 defense last year. I expect it to be a top 5 defense again this year, but this is soft fucking shit here. This is soft fucking shit. 6 months before the season starts, and you're out here playing 2-hand touch like a bunch of fucking lingerie bowl fucking dummies. This is retarded. And if Georgia does the 2-hand touch thing, that's fucking retarded too. Now, some players have injuries. I know the quarterbacks wear non-contact jerseys. I get all that. But for a running back, you're not allowed to tackle a running back or apparently a wide receiver or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they'll change. Maybe it's just for Travion Henderson. I don't know. Here's a jet sweep. And again, no tackling. Just a 2-hand fucking touch. I'm tempted to turn this fucking dog shit off. I'm honest to God tempted to just turn this fucking shit off. With the goddamn 2-hand touch. This is fucking retarded. This is retarded. This is retarded. This is so damn stupid. Two-hand touch. 2-hand touch again. There hasn't been a single tackle in this fucking game. What is a goddamn joke. I mean, this is the game they picked to show on Fox. Fucking the lingerie bowl. This is fucking pitiful. You know, I defend a lot of new shit in college football, but this is fucking sad. Will Howard complete behind the line of scrimmage and then 2-hand touched and down behind the line of scrimmage. Gain of nothing. Ballard. Shout out Ballard with a catch there, but no gain. You can't tell what the fuck's going on here. Is it one guy touches him, but he keeps running and then someone else touches him? I don't know what the fuck any of this is. Will Howard, of course, is playing quarterback. He's yet to throw the ball downfield. A couple of underneath throws and a dump pass. Quinshon Judkins, the transfer running back from Ole Miss, in the backfield now. Will Howard back to throw, pump fakes into the end zone, overthrown, incomplete. Nobody home. No wonder they lose to Michigan every year. I don't understand not letting people tackle. Again, if you've got players coming back from an injury, or if you want to put a non-contact jersey on a quarterback or something like that, I get it. But I don't understand not tackling 6 months before the season starts. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Shotgun again for Will Howard. Play action pass. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to be two-hand touched and sacked. Two-hand touched and sacked. Hey Lou, Ohio State does this every year for the spring game. Yeah, and every year they're soft as fuck. So, I mean, have things been working? Hey, who said that? Hello? Hey, if things been working, then maybe do something different. How about that? Have you been getting blown off the line of scrimmage every year when you play Michigan for 3 years in a row? Maybe do something different. We do this every year. It's a fucking joke. I don't know why they're not tackling Ballard, because this is a non-contact fucking drill. Now Ohio State's punting from its own. Ohio State just punted inside the 30-yard line. Not their own 30, the other 30. What is this? What in the... There's more contact at the Masters tournament. This is disappointing. Somehow the gray team now has 3 points. So they're not only are they not tackling, they're doing one of these stupid ass scoring systems that nobody can understand. So the red team, or what they call the scarlet team, gets the ball, they go all the way down to the opponent's 30-yard line, drive bogs down, they punt, and somehow now the gray team has 3 points. So whatever that means. And now the scarlet team still has the ball on their own 10-yard line. They fumble it, and the gray team recovers. So how many points is that worth? That was the most contact right there when the ball was fumbled and 2 guys tried to jump on it. That's the most contact we've seen in this game. Lincoln Kienholz in the game now, 207-pound sophomore in at quarterback, 4 wide, back to throw from inside his own 5-yard line, complete. It looks like the backups might be tackling here, because that looked like an attempted tackle. Now, it was a missed tackle. Probably because they don't ever practice tackling because they're fucking soft. But it looks like that was Jeremiah Smith who caught that pass. So the number 1 rated wide receiver recruit from last year's class, who literally everybody wanted. Let's see if they're. This looks like the backups in now. Let's see if they're going to have the backups tackling. Quarterback rolls out to his right, throws, pass complete, and he steps out of bounds, and he was pushed that time to the ground. So there was a push that time. Yet to see a real tackle. We're about halfway through the first quarter. We're yet to see an actual tackle in this game. We'll see if we see one or not. Looks like the starter don't get tackled. I haven't seen the backup hasn't got tackled yet either. There was a missed tackle, and then there was one starter that got pushed to the ground. There's been a grand total of 0 tackles so far in this game. We'll see if that changes here. Jet sweep, and we have our first tackle. Let's go. Let's go. Jeremiah Smith becomes the first player to get tackled today after a 4-yard gain on a jet sweep. So I guess it's okay if the backups get hurt while being tackled, but not okay if the starters get hurt while being tackled. What is the over-under on number of tackles in this game? More or less than 5. If they're going to let the backups tackle, I'll say over 5. Handoff right up the middle. Gain of about 2, that's it. Not tackled. Again, not tackled that time, just stood up at the line of scrimmage and the whistle was blown. So we've had, I don't know, 9, 10, 11 plays so far, and there's been one tackle. One tackle. The players that are going to the portal can get tackled. Boy, the portal's going to be wild here in a couple of weeks when that thing opens after spring practice ends everywhere. The portal is going to be wild. 3rd and 5 for the, I think, Scarlet team. Back to throw, scrambling, he's going to get sacked. Sacked is, I use the term sack loosely. He's going to get touched with 2 hands by a defensive guy, and the whistle then will get blown. Smith was the number 1 recruit overall. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. LSU spring game will be fun. Hopefully Nussmeier plays well. I'm sure he will. He's not a rookie. I mean, he's been around a long time. He's got a lot of real game experience. I'm sure Nussmeier will look fine. Ohio State's O-line will be the reason they won't win a national championship this season, says Julian Brown. Punt and a fair catch called at midfield. So, the score of the game is 5-0. The gray team is beating the Scarlet team, but forget about the scoring. They're doing one of those circus scoring models where you get like 3 points if you don't allow a touchdown, or you get 2 points if you complete a pass over 20 yards, and if you force a 3 and out, the defense gets 6 points, whatever, just dumb shit like that. Basically, it's offense versus defense is how they're doing the scoring here instead of team versus team. The defense right now beating the offense 6-0 for whatever that's worth. And Devin Brown in at quarterback now. So this is the 3rd quarterback. So they appear to be just alternating series at quarterbacks. They started out with Will Howard. Then they had something called Eichholz, which sounds like a law firm. And then now they got Devin Brown. And I'm assuming next we'll see Julian Sayin, the true freshman. But first down here for Ohio State, and Devin Brown, who was the backup last year to Kyle McCord, did play some. In fact, I think did he start the first or the second game? Remember, Ohio State was rotating quarterbacks for the first couple of weeks of the season last year before settling on Kyle McCord. So Devin Brown has some game experience. And he's in at quarterback now, 3 wide to the top of the screen. Snap. He's going to hand this one off left tackle. And 2-hand touch, and he's down. Right? Is that Travion Henderson, number 32? 2-hand touch, and he's down after a gain of 5 or so, depending on how soon they think he got touched. Still just 1 tackle in this game. We got 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. There's been a total of 1 tackle in the Ohio State spring game. It's absolutely pitiful, pathetic, piss poor, and sad. He started against Missouri, too, but that lasted 2.5 minutes. Yeah, he got hurt in that game, right? Yeah. Back to throw on 2nd and 7. Steps up in the pocket. Going to take off running right up the gut. Someone gets within 2 yards of him and they blow the whistle. Have you done the Big 12 wins prediction? You know what? I don't remember. You have to search back and look, but I don't remember. Lincoln took over for Brown because he got hurt. Yeah. Don't forget Colorado is going 105-0 and winning the Natty. Yeah, facts. Facts. Devin Brown on 1st and 10 wants to throw. Steps up. Now he's going to take off running again, and it's going to be no gain. Someone looked at him. Right near the line of scrimmage, so they blew the play dead. No, not allowed to look directly at the QB. So that's going to be no gain in that. Actually, somehow they're going to make up that he gained 4 yards, which is a complete fucking lie. But now it's going to be 2nd and 6, though. Oh, I forgot Aaron Nolan's there, too. I forgot. God, they got Julian Sayin and Aaron Nolan. They're not keeping both of those. Hey, Ohio State fans, which of those 2 do you want to keep? You know you're not keeping both of them. Not long term. You might keep them both this year because none of them are starting this year anyway. But you know you're not keeping Julian Sayin and Aaron Nolan long term. So which one is it that y'all want to keep, and which one is it that y'all are going to send packing? Eye contact is a penalty in this game. Yeah, it appears that way. From reports, Julian Sayin looks better. Okay. Julian Sayin. Most of y'all saying Julian Sayin. Okay. Where was he from? Aaron Nolan was from Georgia somewhere, wasn't he? Played high school ball in Georgia, I think. But where was Julian Sayin from? This two-hand touch with the first team is part of the problem. I think so too. I think so too. First and 10. Inside the 20 on the 17. Shotgun, snap. They're going to hand this one off. Two-hand touch and he's down. Not allowed to tackle. That's number one. Is that Quinshon Judkins? Number one for Ohio State, the transfer from Ole Miss. He's really good. I like him a lot. Probably the best running back in the SEC over the last 2 years. That was a good get for Ohio State. Saying is from California. Okay. 2nd and 7. Shotgun, 3 wide. I think this is Devin Brown still at QB. Wants to throw into the end zone. Incomplete. Incomplete. 3rd and 7 coming up. Pass into the corner of the end zone, but good coverage on the play. Pass falls incomplete from Devin Brown. And we're looking at 3rd and 7 now. Anyone think Saiyan is good enough to become a Super Saiyan? Love the shirt, Lou. Yeah. Tennessee was ranked number 1 for 1 week in November. We can't ever forget that. Hashtag never forget. 3rd and 7 now for Ohio State, trying to score. Quarterback scrambling around. Devin Brown points downfield and has to throw it away. Nowhere to go with the ball. And the offense is going to bog down for the 3rd straight drive. Defense, if you just tuned in, this is a pointless game. There's no tackling, and it's not team versus team. It's offense versus defense. So right now, somehow the defense is winning 6-0 against the offense. Don't know what that means, or if anyone cares. But here comes a field goal attempt from the Sucknut. This will be about a 25-yarder from the middle of the field. And it's good. 32-yard field goal attempt. And the offense finally gets some points on the board. They trail the defense now 6-3. You haven't made a Big 12 prediction video, says By Insanity. I haven't made any prediction videos at all. But thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I haven't made any prediction videos at all. My coach may not know how to kneel the ball, but at least he isn't playing this sissy ball. Well, I wouldn't... Miami's playing their spring game at a women's soccer field today, and I'm not trolling, so take that for what it's worth. But Miami's playing their spring game at a women's soccer field today, because of course Miami doesn't have a field. So, and I guess they couldn't afford to rent out the Dolphins Stadium for their spring game that nobody goes to, so they're playing it on a women's soccer field today with like 500 fans in attendance. That's it. Can they at least let the 3rd string and walk-ons tackle? I don't know. There's 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, and there's been 1 tackle total in this entire game so far. Thank y'all for the super chats, though. I really do appreciate that. It's hard out here for the college football YouTubers this time of year, so I appreciate y'all helping to support the channel with the super chats. That does mean a lot. They tackle in the second half, says Hill Guardian. Well, that's ridiculous. Nobody's going to be watching this game in the second half. Half the people that tuned into this game have already tuned out because of the dumb scoring system and no tackling. So they're watching something they don't like and they can't understand the scoring. They tuned out. I guarantee you, whatever the number of people were that were watching this game 20 minutes ago, that number has been cut in half over the last 20 minutes. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Lou, college football 25 for PS5. I'm ready. Did you get your PS5 yet? No, I'm not getting it until I know when the game's coming out. Ohio State goes into South Florida and steal the best wide receivers yearly, says your boy Jay. Yeah, Ohio State's got no problem getting elite wide receivers. I mean, that's for sure. The ball just fell off the tree. Does someone get a point for that? Probably. Probably. 6-3, the defense up on the offense. Who's this at quarterback now? Dumps it off to the flat. And we have our second tackle of the game. We have our second tackle of the game after, it was a big gain though. Somebody forgot to cover that running back out of the backfield. Number 10 in at QB. Who the fuck is that again? They're rotating QB. Julian Sayin in now. Okay, Julian Sayin in at QB now. So this is the fourth quarterback we've seen by my count. So Will Howard, Ike Holtz, Devin Brown, now Julian Sayin in at QB for Ohio State. Shotgun, back to throw, dumps it off again, tripped up in the backfield and dropped for a loss of 2 or 3 yards on the play that time. All this guy does is talk about Ohio State. Well, we are watching an Ohio State spring game, so it would make a lot of sense that this guy would be talking about Ohio State. Ohio's scared of ruining their pedicures. Dang. Yeah, this is bad. This game kind of illustrates the problem with spring games, really. You know, no tackling, no contact, no hitting, a scoring system that nobody understands. It's not team versus team. It's offense versus defense. Defense gets points if the offense doesn't do anything. It's just this is everything that's wrong with spring games right here. Sacked, held onto the ball way too long. Freshman mistake there. Takes the sack on. I think that was third down too. I love the shirt. Yeah, thank you, sir. Spring games need moved. It's just a spring game. Well, then why are you watching it? Or even worse, why are you watching somebody else, me, watch it? Do you ever think they will start playing these games against other schools? No, I don't. No, I don't. Another punt here for the Ohio State offense, which means now the defense is somehow winning 8-3. Punt goes out of bounds right around the 5-yard line, so a good punt there. Dabo dabba done, stick a fork in them taters, says Texas Rocks. Tennessee man takes pride in being ranked number 1 in November after a meaningless win the previous week. Yeah, that's true. F55SU, what's up, buddy? Hope UJ's spring game ain't like this. If it is, it would be the first time it was. Georgia has always done traditional scoring model. You know, you score, you get points. You kick a field goal, you get 3 points. You score a touchdown, you get 6 points. You kick an extra point, that's 1 point. Safety, 2 points. That's how they've always done it. And they've always had tackling outside of the quarterbacks and any injured players. So, yeah, hopefully they're not going to change it. If they do, I'll say the same thing about Georgia I'm saying about Ohio State. Anybody that thinks I won't criticize Georgia hadn't been around here very long. 1998 forever. Yes, never going anywhere. Never going anywhere. 1998 forever. How many players transfer out of after the spring game? What's the bet? What, on Ohio State? I don't know about any particular team, but there's going to be a ton of players enter the portal after the spring games across the country. Tons of players. Shotgun for Ohio State on their own 7-yard line. Pass complete. And two-hand touch again. We're back to two-hand touch now. I think that was Jeremiah Smith that made that catch, a little 4-yard curl route. But again, he caught the ball. Someone looked at him, and they blew the play dead right away. So no, back to the no tackling bullshit. The first quarter's up. There were 2 tackles in the entire first quarter of this game. 2. There were 2 tackles total in the first half of this game. Would you like to have North Carolina in the SEC? I don't care whether anybody or everybody joins the SEC. I don't care one way or the other. Georgia Tech coach has lost his key and now the door is locked. North Carolina would be a punching bag in the SEC. North Carolina squandered what little opportunity they had to be relevant over the last couple of years. They could have and should have won the ACC one of the last 2 years, and they didn't do it. Now they're back to irrelevancy, honestly. They're not going to be very good. I mean, they weren't very good last year. They're going to be worse than that this year. This year, it won't be a surprise that they're not very good. Last year was a surprise. They wasted Drake May. They wasted a couple of really good running backs, a couple of really good wide receivers. They wasted some defensive talent, some top recruits, defense. They just wasted it. They had a chance to sort of take the next step, go up a rung, and they didn't do it. And, Mac Brown ain't it. So, you're just, all you're doing is watching the end of Mac Brown. That's all you're doing. North Carolina's not going to do anything relevant or meaningful. They're not winning the ACC, and they're not making a 12-team playoff. They're not even going to play for the ACC title. I mean, they had a chance. They should have played for the ACC title at least once in the last 2 years, and they didn't do it. So, they're back to just not mattering. I know we are the new guys in the SEC, but I'd much rather see FSU in the SEC. Well, you're going to see that. Florida State and Clemson are both joining the SEC either in 25 or 26. So, Colorado spring game didn't sell out because their real fans see through the hype. Hey, what's up, Joe? Fact check, false. Lou, Miami spring game was moved to Gainesville, Florida on August 31st. Oh, man, poor Florida. Poor Florida. I think we joined the Big Ten. No, you're not joining the Big Ten. You're joining the SEC either in 2025 or 2026. And you're going to send the ACC half your TV money that the SEC pays you. It's already been settled. You just don't know it yet. The whole Florida State Clemson deal has already been settled. You just don't know it yet. Michigan tackles into spring game, says Reed. Most teams do. Most teams do. Nussmeier is going to have a great season. Then next year, BW19 will over. No one ready for him. Boy, Clovey, I don't know if you had a stroke or what, but you're going to have to retype that. Either way, I can't wait until we leave the group of five. Well, you're going to be in the ACC in 2024. You may or may not be in the ACC in 2025. You will not be in the ACC in 2026. You will be in the SEC in 2026. You might be in the SEC in 2025. Along with Clemson. Florida State and Clemson are both leaving the ACC. They're joining the SEC. They're going to have to give the ACC half of their TV money the first year they're in the SEC. And then the amount they pay the ACC every year after that is going to go down 5% or so a year until 2036. Where do you think Virginia Tech and North Carolina, Miami goes? They're staying in the ACC. The ACC is not going away. The ACC is not going away. Miami and Clemson and Florida State are leaving the ACC. The rest of the teams are staying under a renegotiated TV contract with ESPN. Will Florida throw a fit over SFU joining? I have no idea, but it won't matter. It doesn't have to be a unanimous vote for a team to join the SEC, so it doesn't matter whether Florida throws a fit or not. And it doesn't matter whether South Carolina throws a fit over Clemson. They accidentally tackled a wide receiver. I know that can't be allowed. Number 2, isn't that, who's number 2, Emeka Egbuka? Georgia Tech is also talking about leaving the ACC for the SEC or Big Ten. Yeah, that's not happening. Nobody wants them. That's not happening. They can talk about whatever. People talk about winning the lottery too. Ohio State would pay billions to stay out of the SEC. That's a fact. I'll call a dog a putty just like everyone else. Don't know what that means. ACC will get 4 teams in the 12-team playoff this year. Jesus Christ, son. There's no way you type that with a straight face. You have to be trolling. You have to be trolling. They're going to be lucky to get 2 teams in. Ohio State isn't scared of the SEC. Well, they might not be scared of them. They just lose to them every time they play them. Georgia Tech might end up in the Big Ten. No, Georgia Tech is going to end up in the ACC. Georgia Tech's not going anywhere. Ohio State should join the SEC. Why? Why? They're in a conference just as good as the SEC and they make more money. Why would they leave? Quinshon Judkins with a good-looking run there before he's two-hand touched. This tackling shit is stupid. Is Oregon State and Washington State still a Power 5 team since the Pac-12 is gone? They have the same standing as Notre Dame does when it comes to that kind of thing. They're considered major independents right now. Isn't Ohio State like 5-13 versus the SEC? Yeah, 2-13 all time in postseason. 2-13 all time in the postseason. OSU scared to tackle. What you talking about? Scared of the SEC. SEC homers would be fearful of Ohio State joining because they play in a better conference right now. I don't know of any SEC fan base that fears Ohio State. OSU is winless against FSU also, Lou. That's crazy. Kansas would make good addition, blue blood in basketball and Missouri rival. What? To the SEC? No, the Big 12 is not going anywhere. The Big 12 is not going away. They just signed a long-term TV deal. Big 12 is not going away. Even Texas A&M fans aren't scared of Ohio State. Lou, what I meant to say was after Nussmeier leaves, Bryce Underwood will take over next year, so no one is ready for him. Yeah, you got that secret weapon, Bryce Underwood. Yeah, no one's ready for him. Ohio State recruits better than most SEC and ACC teams. That's right, but for some reason they still lose to them every year. I mean, they recruit way better than Missouri, but couldn't beat them. Sad to see. Is this Kansas State Will Howard? Yes. Will Howard is going to be Ohio State's quarterback this year, the transfer from Kansas State. Nine to 3, the defense is beating the offense here. Again, this spring, unfortunately, this ended up being an unwatchable spring game. What amazing catch right there. Who is that? Who was that? Who's number 2? I don't have the volume on. Is that Emeka Egbuka? Who's number 2 for Ohio State? Yeah, Emeka Egbuka. What? God damn. And he got both feet down. Jesus Christ. Ohio State's wide receivers are fucking ridiculous. I mean, that's not breaking news. That's the case every single year. But, I mean, God, you lose Marvin Harrison and you're like, oh, okay, great. We have Emeka Egbuka and Jeremiah Smith. It's unbelievable how they just rotate the wide receiver. That catch was amazing. Back to throw from the 18 into the end zone. Jeremiah Smith, pass knocked down. Incomplete. Still no touchdowns for the Ohio State offense here. 7 minutes to go in the first half. When Florida State and Clemson, do you think then Louisville will also... No, listen. Florida State and Clemson are leaving the ACC. They're joining the SEC. Okay? As part of that, this is a negotiated deal between the ACC, the SEC, and ESPN. It's a negotiated deal between those 3 entities, the ACC, the SEC, and ESPN. The SEC is going to take Florida State and Clemson. So Florida State and Clemson get what they want, which is out of the ACC. The ACC gets a renegotiated TV deal with ESPN. The rest of the teams are going to stay in the ACC, and they're going to get a new TV deal with ESPN. The ACC doesn't go away. Clemson and Florida State are going to give half of their TV money that they get from the SEC to the ACC the first year. The second year, they're going to give a little bit less than half. The third year, a little bit less than that. So every year from now till 2036, Florida State and Clemson will be giving the ACC a percentage of their TV money that they get from the SEC to buy their way out of the grant of rights. The rest of the teams are staying in the ACC. Do you think George will beat Clemson? I think any random person named George could probably beat Clemson, yes. They recruit better than everyone, so it must be the coaching, says Go Blue. They don't recruit better than everyone. That's fake news. ESPN kind of sucks. I would prefer Fox for SEC, although the amount of ads kind of suck. Yeah, I'm weird. I don't give a fuck what channel a game comes on. And the amount of people that do is weird. It's really weird. I couldn't care less. It would be impossible for me to care less what channel a game comes on. As long as it's a channel that I'm able to get. That's the only thing that would bother me. If they put something on a channel that for some reason I can't get that channel. But this whole thing where people are running around crying about TV channels, y'all are softer than Ohio State's spring game. And that's pretty fucking soft. Then when will the ACC dissolve like the Pac-12? It won't. That's why this deal is being put into place, so that the ACC doesn't dissolve like the Pac-12. The Pac-12 dissolved because they didn't have a TV deal. That's the only reason. Facts, Lou. It's why Pac-12 frustrated me. Couldn't watch games. Lou, do the squabble. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. ACC won't. That's why they got Cal, SMU, and Stanford. Yeah, the ACC is not going away. This is a negotiated deal that gets everybody what they want and keeps the ACC intact. So ESPN doesn't lose Florida State. ESPN doesn't want to lose Florida State and Clemson to Fox. So by bringing them into the SEC, they get to keep Florida State and Clemson on their networks. Florida State and Clemson don't want to be in the ACC anymore. They want more money. Going to the SEC gets them out of the ACC and gets them more money. The ACC doesn't want to let Florida State and Clemson out of their grant of rights because then every other team will want out. So Florida State and Clemson are going to give the ACC half of their SEC TV money until 2036, a decreasing percentage every year. Even if Florida has a good spring game, I smell 1-11 for them. Yeah, I think you're kind of trolling there. I don't think you really think Florida's going 1-11. I mean, I don't think they're going to be any good, but I don't think they're going 1-11. I mean, they'll win 4 or 5 games. They might win 6 games. You do think that? Would you want to bet on it? I'll give you 5-1 on your money. You put up $100, I'll put up $500 that they win more than 1 game. I'll give you 5-1 on your money. You put up 100, I'll put up 500. Florida isn't making a bowl game, I'll put money on that. Yeah, that's a more logical thought process there. Florida would beat Ohio State? Yeah, there's no way. No way. Even the SEC sticker on Florida's helmet wouldn't be enough to get them over the Ohio State hurdle. Joe put the bottle down. Lou, I'm still waiting on my $100 for JJ. I don't know what you're talking about. Do we have a bet or something? Will Michigan make playoff or go to Citrus Bowl? Will Michigan make playoff or go to Citrus Bowl? I'm going to say no on Michigan to the playoffs. I'm saying Florida going 1-11 because Octavian said 5-7. Fuck Octavian. So in other words, you don't want to bet on it. I'll give you 5-1. You said no first round, JJ McCarthy. Did you send me the $100? If you didn't send me the $100, it's not a bet. Wet blanket, and they might, what? Lose one of those? I sense jealousy from Fence General. What's Fence General saying? This spring game is unwatchable. When do the watchable ones come on? 10 minutes? Let's see. Let me see if you have Florida at 1. Tennessee at 1. Georgia Tech at 1. Arkansas at 1. Georgia at 1. So we'll have something watchable at 1 at least. This Ohio State fucking patty cake bullshit is embarrassing this is embarrassing to the sport of football. Now this guy's wearing a pillow on his head. Look at what in the fuck? If you have to wear that, you ought not be in the game. If you have to wear that on your head, you ought not be playing in a scrimmage. Get him out of there. This guy's got a pillow wrapped around his helmet. If you have to wear that, you don't need to be playing, buddy. And they're tackling him and everything. I don't understand that. You got healthy players can't be tackled. This guy's got CTE with a pillow wrapped around his helmet and they're letting people tackle him. I don't understand that. I don't get it. Imagine convincing yourself that random people on the internet are jealous of you and your incoherent ramblings. Me? My ramblings aren't incoherent. They are ramblings, but they're not incoherent. If they're incoherent, then you have a comprehension problem. Oh, not me? Okay. I don't get why the starters aren't tackling. Well, I guess they're not tackling because they have a game in 6 months they have to play in. I don't get it either. I don't get it either. This is like watching a 5-year-old girl's birthday party. Damn. Is that true? That's pretty bad if that's true. You really don't think Michigan will finish in the top 12, but think Ohio State will be number 1. I never said Ohio State would finish number 1. I don't know where you got that from. I haven't made any predictions about where anybody will finish. I've seen enough Tennessee will win 17 games. They haven't started yet, have they? I thought they didn't start till 1. Yeah, this says 1 o'clock. Ohio State will lose in the playoffs like always, says FSU man. Tennessee will go 7-5, or that would be a disastrous season if that's true. I think they can win. I mean, they might be able to go 10-2. If they win on the road at Oklahoma in week 4, they might go 10-2. If they lose on the road to Oklahoma in week 4, well, they play NC State early too. If they beat NC State and Oklahoma in the first month of the season and they're 4-0, they might go 10-2. If they lose one or both of those games, then yeah, 7-5 is a real possibility. But I don't think they're going to lose both of those games. I think they probably beat NC State. And at Oklahoma would be a big game. I just want Jeremiah Smith to catch 1 touchdown. They've thrown him a couple in the end zone, but incomplete. Why aren't they tackling? Because they have a game in 6 months. I don't know. I don't know why they're not tackling. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. There's a touchdown, not to Jeremiah Smith. Looks like a running back, number 34. Some nobody walk on. Brennan Scram. Yeah, it'll be the last time you ever see or hear from that guy, but shout out to him for scoring in a spring game where you're not allowed to tackle. Yeah. All right, it's 12:50. It's halftime of the Ohio State. I don't even want to call this a spring game. It's not. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. But it's halftime, and we're 10 minutes away from the start of all the 1 o'clock games. So I'm going to take like a 5-minute break. And I'll be back. Let's see, where is this? What is that? All right, I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes. Good. All right, then. Let's see what's going on with the 1 o'clock games. What time is it? 12:57. What do y'all want to watch? How about Georgia and Tennessee? Y'all want to watch Georgia and Tennessee? See what Nico looks like? FSU goes 6-6. Tells me you know nothing about football. Yeah, I'd be shocked if Florida State went 6-6 this year. Ohio State QB threw pick 6, but they only counted it as 3 points. Well, they had to do that to make sure the red team was still winning, I guess. Which quarterback was it threw the pick 6? Anybody know? All right, we'll switch to Georgia and Tennessee at 1 o'clock. So true freshman. You see that sometimes from freshmen. When is the Nebraska spring game? Does anybody know? Dylan Raiola. Kentucky spring game, I think, is today. Brock Vandergrift will be playing quarterback in that one. Dylan Raiola at Nebraska. All right. Georgia and Tennessee, I'll say, for 1 o'clock. Nebraska relevant. Is Nebraska relevant right now? No. Could they become relevant over the next couple of years? It's possible, but they're going to need a lot more than just Dylan Raiola. I mean, I've already told you I don't think Nebraska's ever winning another national title. I went over that list. Was it last offseason? I went over the list of teams that are never winning another natty, and Nebraska's on it. So, anybody watching the Masters? Did anybody go to the Masters? Do you think Ohio State will be better this upcoming year? Better what, than last year? Yes. I mean, it's hard to get much better. I mean, they were 11-1. So could they go? Will their record be better? No. Their record will probably be the same. Maybe even a game worse. But that's because their schedule is harder. But I think they could win the Big Ten, which they didn't do last year or the year before. All right, Georgia and Tennessee. Vanderbilt? All right, there's Tennessee. Here's Georgia. Yeah, I don't know why it's making me sign in. Event about to start is what it says for the Tennessee game. For the Georgia game, event has not started yet. Nico is overhyped. He would have to have a pretty good year for it not to be overhyped. So I agree with you. Tennessee fans are expecting. There's unrealistic expectations, I think, being placed on Nico by the Tennessee fans for a first-year starter. Hey, what's up, Brandon? Thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, afternoon, Woo. What's the TV setup in the newest edition of the LouTube studios? It's going to be the same 3 TVs. Sent you an email about Ohio State. Did you get it? I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, I haven't checked my email in the last hour. I don't know when you sent it. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Share with the LouTube world. What is this? Something on Facebook? Yeah, I'm not going to share it. It's just a video meme that says it's Ohio State's year every year. Yeah, the TVs will be the same. 3 TVs, 2 computer monitors, so I can watch 5 games at once. OSU taking a piece of FSU playbook with them wide rights. All right, let's see if Georgia started yet. Still says the event has not started. I find that hard to believe. All right. All right, Georgia and Tennessee spring games getting ready to start here. Biggs Mike, what's up, buddy? He says, what's up, bud? Hope you had a good trip. Go Blue. We had a good time. It's the second worst gambling trip of my life, though, in terms of winning and losing. Second worst gambling trip of my life. I knew a guy named Brandon Wyatt once. Dude liked sleeping a lot, says Jared G. What are you looking for with UGA, Lou? There's not a lot to watch in the Georgia game. I mean, the same head coach, both coordinators are the same. The quarterback is the same. I mean, there's not a whole lot of unanswered questions about Georgia, especially none you'll find out answers to in a spring game. I'm really just hoping nobody gets hurt in this thing here. I see C.J. Allen starting at an inside linebacker position, but of course, Smile Munden is not playing in the spring game. He had off-season surgery. Carson Beck at quarterback throws complete out in the flat to Dylan Bell, shoved out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain. Just one of those snap it and throw it right away type of deals that Georgia does about 20 times a game. That one goes to Dylan Bell. Dylan Bell will be one of the guys they look to this year to help make up the production from Ladd McConkey. There's no one guy on the team that's going to give you Ladd McConkey numbers, but between Dominic Lovett and Dylan Bell, I think Georgia can come pretty close to matching McConkey's numbers. Beck in a shotgun again. Motion, snap. Hands it off this time. Is that Branson Robinson? Which one is 0? Branson Robinson or Roderick Robinson? I can't keep up anymore. The number of running backs that Georgia plays plus the transfer. Okay, that was Roderick Robinson. Okay. Roderick Robinson. Okay. 6 foot, 240 pounds out of San Diego, California. He's a sophomore, second-year guy. Best thing about Texas and the SEC, Longhorn Network, is history. Yeah, I think today is the last Texas game that will be on the Longhorn Network, or this year's spring game. 3rd and 1, a handoff, picks up 3 or 4 yards, only needed a yard, so first down Dogs, they pick it up on the ground. I think that was Robinson again with the carry. The Tennessee game hasn't started yet. They're on a commercial break. But I got the Georgia spring game and the Tennessee spring game on right now. Hey, Lou, you hear Tennessee man got arrested? No, didn't hear anything about that. Beck in a shotgun again. Bunch formation to the top, 1 wide to the bottom. Back to throw. Out in the flat, complete. Robinson with the catch. Breaks 1 tackle and then thrown out of bounds after a gain of 5, maybe 6 yards. Georgia still misses that running back. They had a running back for years. Different one, DeAndre Swift, James Cook, Kenny McIntosh, sort of a little undersized, like 3rd down type running backs that could make a lot of catches out of the backfield. They didn't have that last year, and they don't look like they have it this year, really. Not anybody on that level when it comes to catching the ball out of the backfield. Beck wants to go deep. Over the middle, caught. Believe that was Dylan Bell again on a deep out route all the way down to the opponent 40-yard line. Number 86, I think that's Dylan Bell. Ohio State offense is an issue. Same problem as last year, says your boy Jay. No UGA on YouTube TV. No, the Georgia game is streaming on ESPN+. That's it. 1st and 10, Beck in a shotgun again. Back to throw. Deep, deep, deep down the middle. Overthrows everybody. Probably a good thing he did. He threw into double coverage that time. Intended for Dylan Bell again. Has ETN been on the field for Georgia yet? No. No. The only running back I've seen in the game so far has been Roderick Robinson, number 0. I'll keep an eye out and see if that changes. You got to remember, I don't have volume turned on these things, so unless I see, okay, who is number 1? Is that ETN? Running back makes the catch out of the backfield. Running back number 1. Is that ETN? I have to see the back of the jersey because I don't have volume turned on for the announcers to tell me who it is. Okay, that was ETN. So Trevor Etienne is in the game. First play of the game for him. He catches a pass out of the backfield for about a 15-yard gain. Maybe Etienne can be the guy that Georgia can rely on for those catches out of the backfield, similar to a DeAndre Swift or a James Cook or a Kitty McIntosh. We'll see. They missed that last year for sure. Back to throw. A wheel route. Incomplete, intended for Dominic Lovett, number 6. Ohio State needs to add about 3 offensive line transfers. Well, they got the one from Bama. Well, drawing a blank on his name. I think it was the center that Alabama basically ran out of town because he kept fucking the snap up all year long on shotgun plays. He's there. I don't know of any other offensive line transfers they already got, but yeah, there is another portal window that opens after the spring games end, and I think you're going to see a lot of movement. Nothing has happened yet in the Tennessee game. They're just showing highlights of old games and shit like that. Brew McCoy's not playing in this game, is he? Y'all remember Brew McCoy, really good wide receiver, broke his leg, a bad break in a game last year. He's back at Tennessee for this coming season, but he's not playing in today's game, is he? How is Vandergrift looking? I haven't seen one snap of the Kentucky game, so I don't know. Back to throw on 3rd and 9. Caught for a touchdown. They said he was out of bounds. Dylan Bell made a catch in the front corner of the end zone. I have to see the replay here. I don't know. If his toes hit first, it's a catch. If his toes hit first, it's a catch. If his heel hit first, it's out of bounds. I don't know. I don't know if they're doing any instant replay in the spring games, but that was close. You couldn't tell from that angle. But it was a hell of a catch, but they ruled it incomplete. So 4th and 9, it'll be a field goal attempt here for Georgia on their first possession. Weather is amazing in Columbus today, a little windy, so that's likely the issue with the offensive line. Yeah, too windy to block. That makes perfect sense to me. Field goal is going to be up and good for Georgia. Red team 3, black team 0. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter of the Georgia spring game. He can't show the game. No, I'm not showing the game. No. I'm not showing the game. I'm just watching the game and giving you my opinion on it. Still 10 minutes to go until kickoff for the Tennessee spring game, and what a shock, there's nobody there. Wow. That attendance is pitiful. What are y'all doing, Tennessee people? What are y'all doing? The bottom deck's not even filled up. There's nobody in the upper deck. What in the world, Tennessee? What are y'all doing? There's nobody in the upper deck, and only like half the bottom deck was filled up. Athletes go to UJ to get an arrest record? Yeah, that and national championships, yeah. That and national championships. Who kicked the field goal? I don't know. The stadium is undergoing renovations. They didn't sell many tickets. Okay. Wait until you see FSU Stadium, Lou, LOL. What about it? I know they're redoing it. Is that what you're talking about? Half of it is gone. Yeah, I've seen the pictures on Twitter where they're redoing Florida State Stadium. All right, Georgia set to kick it off here. First possession of the game for Georgia. First string offense went down. Drive stalled around the 25-yard line, and they kicked a field goal. So 3-0 to score in the Georgia spring game. 8 minutes to go until kickoff in the Tennessee spring game, so still nothing to talk about there. Is it too windy to tackle? Yeah, it must be too windy to tackle in Columbus, too. Their Ohio State spring game was a fucking pillow fight. I turned it off. It was a waste of time to watch. Some people think all spring games are a waste of time to watch. I disagree. I do like watching spring games. That Ohio State spring game was unwatchable. Unwatchable. Fox can't be happy that they put that on TV and Ohio State trotted out there and played two-hand touch. That's pitiful. Y'all better fear Texas next kick. Nobody fears any kicker. Sorry. Gunnar Stockton in at quarterback goes deep on the first play. And it's caught. Down inside the 25. Wow. Right over the top of KJ Bolden, which is not good. Which is not good because KJ Bolden's probably going to be playing a lot this year in the secondary for Georgia. And he gets picked on the first play of the game here for the black offense, the black team offense. Gunnar Stockton with a bomb down the seam. Now they're going to play action pass, throw, complete behind the line of scrimmage. Pretty good defense that time. KJ Bolden out there with the twos right now on defense, but he's going to be playing a lot during the season. And he didn't even try to make a play on the ball. He was late getting there. I mean, I get it. It's the first play of his collegiate career, and it's a practice, but he's probably going to be playing a lot this year. He's going to have to he can't be doing that shit. Can't be doing that shit. A handoff to, I believe, Andrew Paul. Gets outside, inside the 5, down inside the 1. Pushed out of bounds just inside the 1. It's good to see Andrew Paul out here running full speed. He's another second-year guy who had a really bad knee injury that kept him out basically an entire season. But he looks 100% there. He got to that corner and he was gone. Shoved out of bounds just inside the 1-yard line. One of these young running backs needs to be it for Georgia. Whoever, whether it's Branson Robinson, Roderick Robinson, Andrew Paul, one of those running backs has to be reliable and legit. One of them's got. Now, I'd like for all three of them to be good, but we need. There's a touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown run. The black team's going to take the lead. 6-3. Here comes the extra point. I'll admit that Ohio State game was less watchable than Uncle Lou's channel, says Donovan. Yeah, it was bad. I'm not paying for none of these plus networks. Give me a break. Yeah, says Els King. I don't know how. I have Verizon cell phone service. And I don't know if it's just because of the plan I have or if anybody with Verizon gets this. I don't know. But if you have Verizon cell phone service, it might be worth calling and asking. But I get ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and I think Hulu or something. And I don't pay for any of them. They're packaged in with my Verizon somehow. Now, I'm sure I am paying for them some roundabout way through Verizon or whatever. But like, there's nothing on my bill that says you're being charged $10 a month for, like, it's completely free through my Verizon plan. I don't ever watch Disney Plus or Hulu Plus, but it is nice to have the ESPN Plus for times like this. You have Amazon? Yeah, I have Amazon Prime too. I have Amazon Prime, Netflix, YouTube TV, Hulu, whatever. I don't even know what all I have anymore. I love spring games so much. Ones on ones, twos on twos, and then the mix up. UGA is our best competition, says Fuji. Yeah, well, the second string defense didn't look too good there. The second string offense went right down the field, scored in 3 plays against the second string defense, so we'll see. Kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. They're pretending to run it out. Are you watching the UFC 300 tonight, Lou? No. No Conor McGregor equals Uncle Lou not watching. Is there Conor McGregor? If there's no Conor McGregor, I'm not watching. I want spring games to be versus actual teams. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see that. I don't think we're ever going to see that. First and 10. Let's see who they got at quarterback now. Still Carson Beck. Handoff. Roderick Robinson again. Picks up 4, maybe 5 yards off left tackle. Second and about 4, maybe 5 coming up for the first team offense. He's not fighting, then I'm not watching it. Now I'm forced to like you as a fellow Connor fan. I mean, I guess I'm glad you like me, but I honestly don't really care one way or the other. I'm just glad you're watching. Look, half the people watch because they like me. The other half watch because they hate me. In the end, to me, it doesn't matter either way, to be honest with you. So, but I guess I'm glad you like me. He's an elite pocket passer and processor, but Carson Beck cannot hit that deep ball for shit. Doesn't matter who the receiver is. Yeah, he struggled with that last year, no doubt. If there's one area where you're looking for Carson Beck to improve, that would be it, the deep ball. Why does Ohio State have a QB playing running back? I have no idea. We quit watching that thing 30 minutes ago. It's a fucking pillow fight. Cash Money Chambliss is balling out, Woo. Yeah, no one believes that. There's another deep ball overthrown by Carson Beck to a wide open Dominic Lovett. It was 5 yards too far. Carson Beck's about like Joe Milton when it comes to the deep ball, honestly. Luckily, he's better than Joe Milton at literally everything else on the planet, but that deep ball, they're about identical. Nico looks like he put on some weight. He might weigh about 190 now. He weighed about 150 when he got there. He looks like he might be up to about 180, 190 now. Have you seen the movie on Amazon Prime called Finest Kind with Jenna Ortega? No, I have not. Oh, you think it's just the pads? No, I don't know, because I've seen him in pads before, and he does look a little bit bigger. Does Tennessee have a receiver named Nimrod? Holy shit. That really should be... What is he, named after their fans? Tennessee, they just showed a Tennessee guy, I think he was number 81, so I'm guessing he's a receiver. And I swear his last name was Nimrod, unless I saw it wrong. He must be named after Tennessee fans. Maybe it must have another player named Nitwit. First and 10 for Georgia on their own 35-yard line. Second team offense and second team defense on the field now. Gunnar Stockton hands the ball off to Bowens. Is that a freshman running back? Or a walk-on that I've just never heard of? I think that's a freshman. Yeah, Chauncey Bowens, freshman running back, 225, out of Port St. Lucie, Florida, the number 11 running back in last year's class. So he's getting some run with the twos here. Gunnar Stockton at QB. Throws, pass complete, out of the backfield. Needed 6 yards, picks up about 5. Was that Cash Money Jones? Was that Cash Money Jones? No. I don't think Cash Jones is playing in this game, to be honest. Third and 1. Let's see if they can pick it up. This is the second team offense against the second team defense for Georgia. Gunnar Stockton pass complete, but it's going to be close. Slam to the ground. Forward progress will be close. Is that KJ Bolden with the tackle? Number 4? I believe so. So if that's the case, good play by KJ Bolden that time. Yeah, that was KJ Bolden. Good play. Good to see that from the freshman. He's probably going to play a lot this year, KJ Bolden. No gain, and Georgia's second team offense will have to punt it away. Are you excited with Stockton for next year, Lou? Yeah, I think Stockton can be good. I mean, you never know for sure until you see a guy play, whether he's a 5-star or a 1-star. There are no guarantees, but I like the potential of a Gunnar Stockton, a little more athletic than what we've had at QB. He reminds me of a Tim Tebow. Not that he's going to be, Tim Tebow is one of the greatest college football players of all time. As much as I hate Florida, you can't deny that. I'm not saying that Gunnar Stockton is going to be as good of a college football player as Tim Tebow. I mean the style of player that he is. He'll run between the tackles, I guess is what I'm saying. When Tebow ran around, it wasn't shotgun quarterback sweeps down the sideline. I mean, Tebow got his yards 6 and 7 yards at a time between the tackles. Cam Newton was a lot like that. Cam Newton was a lot bigger than Tim Tebow and Gunnar Stockton, but he's thick. He's not as tall maybe as you'd like him to be, but he's thick. And he can move around in the pocket. He can make the throws. I'm excited to see potentially what a Gunnar Stockton could do next season. Yeah. 3rd and 14 for the Tards. Pass over the head of the receiver, but he jumps and makes the catch. Not a good throw by Nico. And the Vol Tards are going to go 3 and out on their first possession. Vince Young did both. Yeah, Vince Young's one of the most athletic football players I've ever seen, period. His problem is he was dumb as a bag of rocks. And I really don't even mean that as an insult. That's just the fact of the matter. He's got the lowest score ever in the history of the Wonderlic test. And so his problem was when he got to the NFL, he couldn't run an offense. In college, he could run around and make things happen, kind of like a Johnny Manziel type. With his athleticism, but he couldn't run an offense. I mean, he couldn't memorize a playbook. He couldn't do any of that. He was, it is what it is. Now, look, not everybody is a genius. It's not an insult, okay? But Vince Young was just not very smart. And at a certain level, you've got to be smart to play the position of quarterback. And Vince Young didn't have it above the shoulders. And I loved watching Vince Young. That 2005 Rose Bowl's one of the top 5 college football games of my lifetime. Beck, 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and a Heisman. 50 touchdowns seems like a stretch. 5,000 yards seems like a little bit of a stretch, too. 4,500 yards, 40 touchdowns. Potentially a Heisman, maybe. Kirby played Mario Kart with KJ Bolden to snag him from Auburn. I'm a Clemson fan. I met Tebow before. He's a pretty big dude. Well, he's big compared to you. He's not big compared to the average football player. Did he circumcise you? Is that how you met him? Shout out Tim Tebow. Out there literally doing the Lord's work with the circumcisions. Tennessee's backup offense on the field now. Another pass sails over the head of a wide receiver, and it's going to be 3rd down. Not much offense here from Tennessee early in this one. Failed to get a first down with their first team offense, punted it away. Now the second team unit out on the field. Yeah, Roger, but man, you have to know as just a football fan, that was one of the greatest games I've ever seen. And Joe Milton overthrow. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that not Joe Milton? Some random Tennessee quarterback overthrows a wide open wide receiver 40 yards downfield. I just assumed it was Joe Milton, but maybe it wasn't. Vince was great. Yeah, in college, one of the best college players I've ever seen. No, there's no question about it. Being great in college is, look, we talk about this all the time. One doesn't always translate to the other. Tim Tebow, Vince Young, shoot. We could all name dozens of players who were great in college and didn't make it in the NFL. Being great in one doesn't always translate to the other. And then start listing in your head some of the best players in the NFL. And then ask yourself, how much did you talk about them while they were in college? Not a lot of time. How many YouTube videos can I find from when Patrick Mahomes was at Texas Tech or whatever it was, where people were on YouTube talking about how great Patrick Mahomes was in college? Where can I find those videos? They don't exist. They don't exist. Beck's deep ball is trash. Yeah, facts. Struggled with it last year, and it's not looking any better today. And what's aggravating is the 1 out of 5 times he does throw a good deep ball, it's to Arian Smith, and Arian Smith drops it. Arian Smith had more drops than he did catches last year. That's hard to do. It's hard to have more drops than catches. But Arian Smith figured out a way to do it. What are the greatest games you've ever seen? And if Auburn ain't on the list somewhere, you're just a hater. Greatest games I've ever seen? Not in person, you're asking, just on TV. Well, that the Southern Cal, Carson Beck just overthrew somebody else again. That Southern Cal Texas game we were just talking about. Georgia Oklahoma Rose Bowl after the 2017 season. Georgia Alabama Natty game in 2017 where Georgia lost in overtime. Greatest games I've ever seen. You might have to put last year's Texas-Oklahoma game on the list. Last year's Texas and Oklahoma game was really good. I'd probably have to sit down and think about it longer to make a real list. If you want some Auburn ones, then, the Kick Six, the prayer at Jordan-Hare. Last year's game was great. The Iron Bowl. Georgia versus LSU in 2013, I think. 2013 or 2014. In Athens. It ended up being like, the final score was like 44-38 or something like that. That was a great game. That's one of the best Georgia home games of all time. That Georgia LSU game from about 10 years ago. UJ versus Auburn 2023. Yeah, I don't think anybody would classify that as one of the greatest games they've ever seen. Still 7-3, black team up over the red team. First team offense yet to score a touchdown. Trying to change that here. Pass complete over the middle. Oscar dealt with the catch down to the 40-yard line. Should be good for a first down. Nope, a little bit short. 3rd and 2 coming up now for the number 1 offense. Carson Beck, of course, at quarterback. Oscar dealt at tight end. Seen a lot of Dylan Bell, a lot of Dominic Lovett, the wide receiver positions. Has Colby Young, anybody seen Colby Young do anything yet to transfer from Miami? Has he done anything and I missed it? There's a commercial in the Tennessee game. Beck with an empty backfield. Throws deep again. Caught that time. Inside the 10-yard line, Dominic Lovett. Now, Beck put that one on the money. Now, look, we got to give credit when it's due. We've been criticizing Beck about his deep ball. He placed this one right where it needed to be. Look at this one. Perfect throw and catch there. Dominic Lovett down inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. You can't throw that one any better. Perfect touch on the ball. Right amount of air underneath it. So he's blown some, but he hit that one. First and goal now for the first team offense at the 6-yard line. Beck in a shotgun. Snap. Back to throw. Looks into the end zone. Fade. No good. Who's that? Everett. What's his name? Dalen Everett? Dalen, what is it? Dalen Everett with the coverage there. Incomplete pass into the end zone. Second and goal now. Most annoying fan base, that changes from year to year. Last year it was Florida State for obvious reasons. It's been the year before that, I would say Tennessee. Remember the year before that was the year they won a bunch of games, beat Bama, got ranked #1 for 1 week in November, and were the loudest population on the internet than anybody had ever seen for 2 weeks until they went and played in Athens and got their shit pushed in by Georgia, and then they all went back and hid in their holes. But for that 2-week period, that was the most annoying anybody has ever been on the internet, period. Thoughts on UJ receiver core as a whole? B+. Impossible to be an A+ when you don't have an alpha receiver, and they don't. They don't have a first-round wide receiver. They don't. They've got a bunch of really good wide receiver 2s. You know, I like Dylan Bell, but he's undersized. I like Dominic Lovett, but he's a slot receiver. Colby Young, we'll see. He's really tall, never really did anything at Miami. Maybe he'll pop at Georgia. I don't know. Pass deflected and intercepted. Carson Beck's pass was tipped up in the air at the line of scrimmage and intercepted by number 13. Who is that? Number 13. I can't tell who that is. They're going to have to turn around so I can see their name. Somebody tell me who that was that's watching on TV. I've got the volume down. Who was that? Is Beck the next Jake Fromm? I don't even know what you mean by that. Was that Mike? Oh, Michael Williams. Okay. Michael Williams better do something this year. He was disappointing last year. He was extremely disappointing last year. This is his 3rd year. This is his money year. He better do something this year. All right, looks like the Tennessee second string offense out on the field. The white team for Tennessee. Shotgun 3 wide. No score at all in this game. Not much offense. Motions to an empty backfield. Backup quarterback throws a slant complete over the middle for a gain of 7 or 8 yards. Flag down on the play. Florida Gators will be the national championship. Yeah, right, Octavian. Okay, buddy. UJ versus Ohio State Natty would be epic, says Terrence. They're the 2 favorites to win it. They're the betting favorites to win it right now, Georgia and Ohio State. They have the best odds to win the national title, those 2 teams. Beck not winning us a natty with the plays I'm seeing so far, says it's Corey D. I don't know. Beck had probably the best year any Georgia quarterback has ever had last year, so it's hard to blame any of the shortcomings for the team on Carson Beck when he arguably had the best year that any Georgia quarterback has ever had. First and 15 for the Vols after that penalty on the offense negated that 8-yard gain. 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Still no score in the Vols spring game, Georgia spring game on a commercial break. I couldn't tell, but I think Michael Williams was the one who deflected it too. Yeah, I know he is the one that intercepted it. Auburn versus Oregon 2019 was insane. That was a crazy game. That's the worst thing that ever happened to Bo Nix at Auburn. And that was the first game he ever played. But he did not play well in that game. And then at the end, he threw a pass that he should not have thrown. It was a bad throw. It was a bad decision to make the throw. And the defender got turned around. The receiver jumped up, makes a miracle catch, and scores to win the game at the very end. And everything after that at Auburn was downhill for Bo Nix. I mean, that was the best thing that ever happened to him there. And it just went downhill from there for him. Now he got to Oregon and rejuvenated himself and had a couple of good years there. But he after that first game he started at Auburn, he never did anything else again there except lose to Georgia like it was his job. How many times did he lose to Georgia? 5? Unbelievable. Is he the only quarterback to ever lose to Georgia 5 times? 4 times? Is he the only quarterback to ever lose 4 times to Georgia? Probably. Probably. Tennessee goes deep. Wow. Overthrown again. Barely out of reach. If he puts that one on the money, the guy's still running, walks into the end zone. Instead, it's 4th and 10, and they'll have to punt it away again. That was the backup quarterback for Tennessee there. Overthrows seem to be a problem no matter who the quarterback is for Tennessee. It's weird. When Texas plays Florida, 66-0. What? Still 7-3. The black team up on the red team. Georgia's first team offense yet to score a touchdown. Kicked a field goal on their opening drive. Had a turnover inside the 5-yard line on their last drive. Black team going to have to punt it away here. So Carson Beck, I'm assuming, will get another opportunity here to try to lead a scoring drive for the number one first team offense. Florida got murdered by Arkansas last year. That's how bad they are. Yeah, I forgot about that. Lost to Arkansas. That is bad. That is bad. Golly. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. This shows Georgia defense is getting better. It's hard for me to judge a defense from a spring game, any defense at all. I don't know if it's because I'm not smart enough or don't understand what I'm seeing or what, but it's a lot easier for me when I watch a spring game to tell if a quarterback can complete a pass or if a wide receiver can catch a pass than it is for me to tell if some sort of defense is improved or not. 1st and 10. Does look like Carson Beck's still in at quarterback. Play action pass. Wants to go deep. Nobody there. Scrambles out to the right. Great protection. Has all day. Off the fingertips of Oscar Delp. Over near the sideline and incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up. That pick 6 that ended Bama and Bulldogs won the Natty. Yeah, Keely Ringo. I think Georgia's the best program, but I was definitely more scared of Stetson than Beck. He just had that dog in him. $6:50 to go in the first half. Georgia spring game. 2nd and 10. Georgia first string offense in the game. They're going to hand it off this time. Nowhere to go. Spin move, though, and gets loose for maybe 3 or 4 yards, but some flags come in the area of holding. That one's probably going to come back. Yeah, holding on the offense. Tennessee can't go 5 plays without jumping off sides. In a spring game with no crowd noise? That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. All right, Nico in at quarterback. Let's see what he can do. Back to throw. Under pressure. Sacked. Well, touched. You know the deal with the quarterbacks. Not allowed to sack them. But he would have been sacked, so they blew the whistle. 2nd and 12 coming up now for the Tennessee offense. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score at all in the Tennessee spring game. Beck back to throw on 2nd and 20. Caught across the 40 to the 42. Good looking throw that time. I think that was, there's Colby Young. So the transfer, I was just asking about him. There he is, number 8, Colby Young, transfer wide receiver from Miami. A big, tall target. Good catch there. Picks up the first down. 1st and 10 for Georgia now. First team offense still in the game. Carson Beck at QB. And Nico goes 3 and out again. So hot doo-doo is what we're seeing served on a paper plate here in Knoxville in front of 223 fans in attendance at the Tennessee spring game, and Nico can't get a single first down. That's a catch by the tight end. That's not Oscar Delp, though. Who is that? Was that Lawson Lucky, number 7? Who was that? Anyway, it's another first down for the first team offense and a good-looking drive here. Who's that they're interviewing on the sideline? Oh, there's Keely Ringo right there. Tennessee looks like the best team so far this spring. Defense is legit. How many spring games have you watched? Tennessee looks like the best team so far. They're all... Nico can't get a first down. But yeah. Yeah, it must be because Tennessee's defense is so good. Because, well, Tennessee's defense is always so good, right? God almighty. Come on, man. Florida fans have nothing to cheer for, so they talk about teams that are winning. King Zay, what's up, buddy? Reminder, we'll be doing the Alabama game over on Patreon, too, so... We'll end this stream here in a little bit. When it gets into the second half of these spring games, it's even less worth watching than the first half. So at some point here in the next 30 minutes or so, we'll probably shut this stream down. I will be streaming again for the afternoon game starting at 4 o'clock with the Alabama game. But that's going to be over on Patreon. So those of you who are over on the Patreon page, you know how that works. But I'll post a link over on the Patreon page probably right around 4 o'clock. Just click that link on the Patreon page and it'll take you to the live stream for the Alabama game. We can see Kalen DeBoer, Jaden Mildew, and company and see what they look like in their spring game. And then if any of you are on Bleacher Report or the Bleacher Report app, I'll be live on Bleacher Report after the Alabama spring game to talk about the Alabama spring game. Wear your Atlanta hat for the Bama game? Okay. Well, no, I want to wear my Masters hat. It's Masters week, so I'm probably going to keep the Masters hat on. Auburn's defense is legit this year. We kicked 7 field goals. Yeah, it's official. Auburn and Tennessee are playing for the SEC title because neither one of their offenses can score. What are we doing? What are we doing out here? Seems like you're getting on at somebody out here. We're not gonna have no getting on to people.
No, man. I got lasagna for dinner tonight.
Good.
Lasagna, salad, whatever.
And bread or no?
I got bread.
Okay. Good. Yeah, that was the lady. She just got home from work and that. So I knew I heard somebody mumbling out there. Commercial on both spring games and that. Hey, what's up, Noah? Did I miss a super chat from A Convert? I feel like I did. And why won't it show it to me? A Convert, if you're still in here, I'm sorry I missed your super chat. Thank you for the super chat. For some reason, it's not showing me what the message was. I don't know why that is, but...
Are you good?
How you doing? No, I'm good.
Okay.
What, you want to come talk to the people or something?
No, I was asking if you wanted anything to eat.
Oh, you can come talk to the people if you want.
I'll do it when you take a break.
Well, I'm ready to take a break at any time.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all want to come? Y'all want the lady to come talk to you? Y'all want the lady to come talk to you or no? Yes? It's got to be more entertaining than me, right? Do I like pimento cheese sandwiches? Roger. Sir, son, let me explain something. Yes, I love pimento cheese sandwiches. Around here, we make our own pimento cheese. Not me specifically, but I mean, in the South, like everybody's got an aunt or somebody that does the homemade. My mom used to do it, but I love pimento cheese sandwiches, yeah. Feet pics, if the price is right, I'll show you my feet. Oh, you mean the lady? Yeah, I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will.
All
All right.
right. Do a $20 super chat.
$20, she'll show you feet. All right, I'll be right back in a minute.
Good morning, everybody. Pimento cheese sandwiches are gross. I know. Who am I? Good morning, Texas Rocks, Floby, Michael Sprague, Frank. Yes, I will be having a show tomorrow. Yes. I know. I've been so busy these last 2 weeks. It's been crazy. Pimento cheese is gross. I do like a good chicken salad though. Chicken salad sandwich or whatever. Yeah, that. Mm-hmm. What's up, Tiger Paul Craven? Disney was great. Exhausting, but great. Yeah, we had a good time. I think we got home around like 5:30ish. I don't know. We got delayed at we stopped for lunch, I think in Pooler, Georgia, and we got delayed for about an hour because people were still out ordering their food and stuff like that. So no girls allowed. Oh well. That's what your boy Jay says. Well, am I a Michigan fan? Is that what you're asking? No, I'm not a Michigan fan. Els King wants to know if I can cook fried chicken. Probably not as good as somebody else could probably cook it. No. I think Floby's a fan of. I think I know this. I think he might be a Gators fan, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, never mind. LSU. Ooh, I was totally off. Sorry, Floby. Apologize. Apologize about that. Come on, what, Scott? Come on, what? Does Lou do the dishes? He loads the dishwasher. Yes. Yes, he loads the dishwasher. Uh-oh. Someone said Beck got hurt. I don't even know where. Or, oh, you're questioning, did Beck, I don't know, I'm not watching. What's up, Spike? Happy birthday, Matt Dummett. Oh yeah, that's what I feel. Yeah, okay, I get you, Scott. Yes, I know. Pimento cheese, gross. Just like raw oysters, gross. Yeah. Oh, is that what you do, Spike? Are you a butcher? Yes, yes, there will be a bad bitch fuel tomorrow. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. 5:30 Eastern. I think TK's only going to be on there for maybe about 30 minutes because she's got to work. Um, and she has she gets off at 5:30, but then she's got a meeting at 6. So like a work meeting at 6. So I think she's gonna sit in her car for 30 minutes and maybe come on. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yes, there will be a show tomorrow.
Good. Oh.
So.
Both the animals are outside.
Oh, okay.
Just to let you know.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Nice hat.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, my master's hat there. All right, what I miss here? Colby Young scored a touchdown. Who threw it? Damn, he drug half the team, didn't he? I thought somebody said Colby Young scored a touchdown. How come I don't see that on the scoreboard? Oh, there it is. I must be way behind. I just saw the touchdown. I must be way behind somehow. I am. All right, I fixed it. I'm back on live now. Beck to Young will be on repeat all season. Was it Carson Beck that threw the touchdown pass to Colby Young? Does Lou even know Beck got hurt? Beck got hurt? What happened to Beck? Gunnar Stockton in now with a second team offense. Throws intercepted. Or did it hit the ground? Who is that? Who the hell is number 0? Interception by number 0, but who the hell is that? Great coverage. That hit the ground. Who is that? Bowles? Who the fuck is that? Beck limped a bit, then came back and threw the touchdown. Oh, so he's fine. Okay. Tate rolled on Beck's knee. Hines Ward, the new wide receiver coach at Arizona State. Beck sprung his anterior labia muscle, says Christopher Lyons. Who's your team, Christopher Lyons? Ole Miss should have a better defense this year. They better if they want to win the big games. That's their problem. Ole Miss is at the point now where they're beating all the teams they're supposed to beat, and they're losing to all the teams they're supposed to lose to. I mean, losing to Georgia by 40 points is unacceptable. So you gotta, it's not like you're almost there when you're losing by 40. Uncle Lou, I think Julian Humphrey will have a breakout year at corner. We need somebody to step up at corner. Somebody. Because I'm about this close to putting all my eggs in the Ellis Robinson basket if some of these other returning corners don't step up. Florida having a lot better spring game than last year. Yeah, I'm only able to watch so many, so I'm not watching that one right now. I'll have to either watch it later or read a recap on it before I give any opinion on it. I haven't watched any of that. I watched some Ohio State. I've watched some Georgia. I've watched some Tennessee. Those are the 3 I've watched so far today. I watched Clemson and Auburn from last week. Another pass batted down at the line of scrimmage. Flags down, though. For a tall guy, Beck gets a lot of passes tipped. Is that Beck still in at QB? Yeah, that is Beck in at QB. Let's see what happened here. The blocking wasn't good, that's for sure. But it looks like the penalty is going to be on the defense, whatever the penalty was. Again, I don't have the volume on, so I miss a lot of the details. But some kind of penalty on the defense, they're marking that off. Georgia ready to go again now. Carson Beck, your quarterback. They're up 10-7 over the black team. A minute to go until halftime. So sort of a 2-minute end of half drill here for Carson Beck. Throws intercepted at midfield. Who's that? Number 3. Not a good throw. C.J. Allen. I'm trying to tamp down my optimism on C.J. Allen. But C.J. Allen could be the next Georgia Butkus Award winner. He was a freshman last year, and he had to play a lot after Pop Johnson got hurt. And he was the real deal, and he makes an interception here. Now, good on him for making the interception, but that was a piss-poor throw by Carson Beck. First of all, he shouldn't have thrown it. The only thing I could think of is that he didn't see him. I don't know, because C.J. Allen was just playing a zone underneath about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, and it looked like Beck basically threw the ball right to him. Not a good decision by Beck there. That was bad. But I I'm trying to tamp my expectations on C.J. Allen, but I think he's going to be an absolute beast. Lou, like what you see out of your dogs so far, nothing has blown me away. I mean, there's not as many reasons to watch the Georgia spring game, though, as there are some other teams. It's like I talked about in the beginning. The head coach is back. Both coordinators are back. The starting quarterback is back. I don't really know what sort of answers you're going to get answered or what questions about Georgia you're going to get answered in the spring game. I get more out of spring games when it's new quarterbacks, new coaches, new offensive schemes, things like that. So like watching Nico play at Tennessee, watching Will Howard play at Ohio State. I don't know. UJ has the best defense again. Well, they didn't have the best defense last year. So when you say again, they didn't have the best defense last year. Beck just dinked and dunked last year, let's be honest, says Spank Mapleton. You don't dink and dunk to the most amount of yards any Georgia quarterback has ever thrown for. So was there a lot of dink and dunk? Yeah. Is that all he did? No. Our defense makes every QB look average except for maybe C.J. Stroud. Beck will be fine. It's just a spring game, says Floby. Yeah, I don't have any questions about Carson Beck. I'd like for his deep ball to get better, but if all I get from Carson Beck this season is the same thing I got from him last season, I'm fine with that. Gunnar Stockton now out with the twos, throws complete. Picks up 7 or 8 yards to the running back out of the backfield. McConkey and Bowers made Beck look better than he actually is. Well, you didn't watch very many games because McConkey and Bowers started a grand total of 8 games last year. Neither one of them played half the year. They were only both healthy in 1 game last year. So that's a little bit lazy to say that McConkey and Bowers are the only reason Beck did anything last year. Neither one of them were anywhere near 100% for the majority of the year. Combined, they had 8 starts between the two of them. I mean, both of those players are really, really good and can't be replaced. There's not another Ladd McConkey on this team, and there's not another Brock Bowers on this team, but those 2 players aren't the reason Carson Beck had the best season any Georgia quarterback has ever had last year. That's just lazy thinking. Unknown Tennessee quarterback scrambles for a touchdown. I don't know who this is. It's number 12 for Tennessee. I know who it's going to be by week 5 or 6. By week 5 or 6, this number 12 is going to be Tennessee fans' favorite player because they're going to be crying about how bad Nico is, and they're going to want whoever this number 12 is to be starting. That's just what Tennessee fans do. But as for right now, I've got no idea who it is. No clue. I think Jackson Dart can make a run for Heisman this year, says Michael Sprague. Kicker and punter looks great. Little things matter. Spring game is just a glorified practice. Can't really get anything from them, in my opinion. I think it depends on the situation. I disagree that you can't get any. If you can't get anything from it, the coaches wouldn't do it. The coaches don't do anything just to do it. There's a reason they do everything they do. Is Arian Smith starting this year? UJ seems feature him more on their media pages. I would be surprised if Arian Smith is a starting wide receiver. Will he be in the rotation? Probably. But he couldn't catch the ball last year. I mean, it doesn't do any good to be the fastest person on the field if you've got hands like feet. And Arian Smith had more drops than he did catches last year. So if he can learn to catch the ball, he'll get more playing time. But will he be a starter? No. Merklinger, true freshman, 4-star guy. He's going against third-team D, so wouldn't put too much into it. Yeah, I know that, but you know how it is. We get 3, 4, 5 weeks into the season, the Tennessee fans are going to want Nico benched because he's not 100-0 with 100% completion percentage and, 72 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 1,500 yards rushing. They're going to want him benched, and they're going to be wanting that guy in. If Cade Klubnik cannot turn the ball over, it's going to be a great game. Well, he can't not do that. I mean, I don't know what. So nothing else after that matters. I mean, Clemson has turned the ball over in every single game they've played for, what, 15, 16 games in a row? Cade Klubnik's not very good, dude. I don't know what more you need to see from him. He's not very good. And even if he was, he doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to. I mean, I know y'all want to talk about some freshman that nobody's ever heard of named Wesco, but, you know, I guess wake me up the next time a freshman wide receiver takes a team to the playoffs. But Klubnik's not any good, dude. He's not. And I mean, I don't know if you're one of these people that's still in denial about it or what, but Cade Klubnik's not very good. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You can get mad, but, I mean, you getting mad isn't proof that it's not true. Cade Klubnik's just not very good. What's your favorite game day food? Tommy fries. Tommy fries are my favorite game day food. Lagway gonna be a good one. Nico, I don't know. How do you know Lagway is gonna be a good one? He's never thrown a single pass with a college football helmet on. And he's not playing any this year either. So I don't understand. Look, when teams are terrible, let's assume DJ Lagway ends up being the best quarterback in the country in 2025. What do you think that will mean for Florida as a team in 2025? Not much, dude. Not much. It's not like Florida is just a quarterback away. You know what it looks like when you're a quarterback away? You want to know what it looks like when all you need is the right quarterback? It looks like Georgia in 2017 when they played in the national title game and lost. It looks like Georgia in 2018 when they went 11-1 in the regular season and then lost the SEC title game to the eventual national to Bama. It looks like Georgia in 2019 with Jake Fromm when they went 11-0 or 11-1 in the regular season and lost to eventual national champion LSU in the SEC title game and played in New Year's Six bowls all of those years. That's what it looks like when you're a quarterback away. Okay? That's not Florida. Florida's winning 5 fucking games a year. You could bring back fucking Tim Tebow and put him on Florida's team right now. They would struggle to win 7 games. So all this talk, look, Tennessee is closer than Florida is, and they're putting all their hopes in Nico. Now, they got other issues too. Quarterback ain't Tennessee's problem. It's not like, oh man, if we just had a quarterback that was better than Hendon Hooker. You're not getting a quarterback that's better than Hendon Hooker. That's not the problem. Your defense is the problem at Tennessee in depth, and they're addressing that. So I'm not piling on that. But these Florida fans, they run around, oh, DJ Lagway, he's got nobody to block for him. He's got nobody to hand the ball off to. He's got nobody to throw the ball to. And even if he scores 40 fucking points a game, your defense is going to give up 45. How in the fuck can you average 5 wins a year for 3-4 years in a row, have a head coach who's never had a fucking winning record in history at your school, and you think DJ Lagway is going to do anything other than jerk off in your ear? I don't get it. Y'all are dumb as fuck. I swear to God. Florida fans are fucking stupid as shit. Oh, DJ Lagway, he's never completed a fucking pass. Chaz Nimrod just scored a touchdown for Tennessee, and no, I'm not making that up. That's his fucking name. He's named after their fans. Chaz Nimrod with a touchdown catch from for Tennessee. But isn't that the backup duds, though? Isn't that the Woozies? That wasn't even Nico. Nimrod. Fuck Nimrod. Nimrod with the touchdown catch for Tennessee. Beautiful pass by Nitwit, caught by Nimrod for a touchdown. extra point good by nincompoop. And the white team is up on the orange team 14-7. Now, does anybody else want to piss me off? Hey, Lou, you going to bet any NBA playoff games? Yes. I am. Of course I am. No NBA games today. There's no NBA games today. I think tomorrow is the last day of the NBA regular season, but no NBA games today. I wouldn't fuck with Nimrod. Lagway has a better deep ball than Beck. How do you know that? How do you know that? God, ain't never thrown a fucking pass. UJ needs to work on the defense. Yeah, defense always a huge concern for Georgia. Aren't you a Tennessee fan? God damn. Didn't South Carolina score 200 points on you in a game? The fuck are you talking about? Georgia needs to work on their defense. Yeah, man. If only Georgia had a decent defense, they wouldn't be, they wouldn't be 40-2 in their last 42 games or whatever. Yeah. I hope somehow Georgia manages to at least have a top 50 defense this year. Yeah. I really do. Oh, man. What are you laughing about? Georgia's always had a trash defense. Yeah, I know. It's a shame. It really is. It's an absolute shame. Is that Brock Bowers they're talking to? Georgia versus Ohio State in the Natty. It seems to be a popular pick. Now, those are the two teams with the best odds to win the Natty. But, it's hard to make... the playoffs are going to be... Well, the 12-team playoff... Look, it's not going to be easy to win 4 playoff games in a row. I don't care who you are. Georgia, Ohio State, Bama, Texas, Oregon, Ole Miss, whatever team you want to name. It's going to be hard to win 4 playoff games in a row. So trying to predict who ends up playing in the national title game is even harder now than it was with a 4-team playoff. How many Tommy Fries do you think get sold over Masters weekend? Oh, God. I don't know. One of their locations is only about a mile from the Masters. And I know they stay packed all week long. I would pick UJ over Ohio State in any playoff game, not just the Natty, even if that ends up happening. Well, I would pick any SEC team over Ohio State in any postseason game, period. I mean, we have 100 years of evidence to go on. Ohio State is 2-13 in their existence against the SEC in the postseason. When's the last time they beat an SEC team in the postseason? A decade ago? Did Michigan just fall off the map? No, Michigan will be good. I don't think they'll be as good as last year, but Michigan will be good again. They'll come in second or third probably in the Big Ten, depending on how good Penn State is. I like Oregon and Ohio State both better than Michigan this year. But I still think Michigan will be good. Is Notre Dame coach on the hot seat for this season? What? No. Didn't they win 9 or 10 games last year? No. On the hot seat. Hopefully DeBoer offense can fix Bama offense. Knoxville is the most intimidating place to play in the SEC, says Tyrone Smith. Well, you're a Tennessee fan. Of course you say that. Auburn fans say it's Auburn. LSU fans say it's LSU. Texas fans are going to say it's Texas. Oklahoma fans are going to say it's Oklahoma. Florida fans are going to say it's the Swamp. Georgia fans are going to say it's Athens. I'm pretty sure Klubnik isn't a good QB, but he is a 5-star and can possibly be a good game manager if he doesn't turn the ball over. what does he have, 15 starts? And he's turned the ball over in all 15 of them? Come on, stop. Stop it. Cade Klubnik's not any good. It's not if this or but that, and hopefully this, and if this and that, and the other. Cade Klubnik's not any good. You don't have any wide receivers. You're not going to get any from the portal because Dabo's a fucking idiot. Your offensive line is terrible. You don't have a center. I know y'all think Maffa's really good, and maybe he is. Here's a touchdown. Another touchdown by the white team again. Boy, the white team is humiliating the orange team in the Tennessee game. Nico can't do shit, but that other quarterback's got 2 or 3 touchdown passes in that. I can see it now with the Tennessee fans. They're going to be all over this Merklinger now. Is that who threw that again? Who threw that time? Nico can't complete a pass. Every other Tennessee quarterback is out here throwing touchdowns. Now, to be fair, this wide receiver was wide open. There wasn't a defensive back in the same zip code. Cade Klubnik probably could have completed that pass. That's how easy that was. I thought Nico was the Lord and Savior. I don't know, he ain't done shit today. That was some quarterback named Moore. More is less in Tennessee. I don't know what else to tell you. More is less. Extra point is good. Tied up 14 apiece. In the orange and white game, Nico ain't done shit. Lou, stream the LSU game. When's that come on? I'm ending this stream in a little bit. And then I'm streaming again at 4 o'clock on the Patreon page. So make sure y'all are signed up for the Patreon page. The link is in the description of the video. Make sure you're signed up on the Patreon page. We'll be back on at 4 o'clock. I know Alabama's on. Whoever else is on. We'll watch whoever's on. SEC top 3 is UJ, Texas, and then either Ole Miss or Bama. Yeah, I would agree with that. In whatever order you want to. I think UJ and to me, UJ and Texas are the top 2 in whatever order you want. After that, I think it's probably Bama and Ole Miss. I agree. And then Mizzou, probably on the outside of that. Oklahoma, Tennessee. You know, again, I'm not saying Oklahoma's, I'm putting them in groups, not ranking them necessarily. So I would have Georgia, Texas in a group. I'd have Bama. Bama might be in the Georgia-Texas group. Just too many unknowns because of the coaching staff deal. They may end up Bama could be in the Georgia-Texas group, or they could be in the next group, which would be Ole Miss, Mizzou, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. Oklahoma might not even be in there. Oklahoma might be in the next group. But yeah, that's how I would group them. Tennessee over Bama in the Natty? What? I'm a little nervous when my dogs play Texas. Other than that, I just assume UJ by 2 or 3 scores. I would be shocked if Georgia wins all 3 of those road games. Bama, Ole Miss, and Texas. I don't know if anybody can win all 3 of those. Well, here's what I do know. If Georgia does win all 3 of those road games, there's no question who should be ranked number 1 after that. I mean, that would answer everybody's question. If Georgia wins at Bama, at Ole Miss, and at Texas, they will and should be ranked number 1. I don't think they will win all 3 of those, though. I don't think anybody could win all 3 of those. They may still end up being the best team at the end of the year when we get to the playoffs. I don't know, but I'd be surprised if Georgia won all 3 of those. Mildew's not that good. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Georgia kind of got screwed with those 3 road games, to be honest. Still not as bad as Florida, though. Well, Florida's problems aren't necessarily its road games. It's the teams they play in a row in the back half of their schedule. They play like 6 top 15 teams in a row to end the season, something like that. And the thing about Georgia's schedule is next year it gets reversed. So next year Georgia hosts Bama, hosts Texas, and hosts Ole Miss. So they play them all on the road this year, but they get them all at home next year will be the best home schedule in the history of Georgia football, period. I don't care how far back you go, you won't find a home schedule anywhere close to what you will see next year at UGA. you got to remember, we don't ever play Florida at home. So even if you go back to the years where both Florida and Georgia were good at the same time, and so that game was big, it was never, it's never played in Athens or Gainesville. So as far as the home schedule for Georgia, it'll be the best home schedule Georgia's ever had next year. Are you ending the stream soon? Yeah, I'm going to end this stream soon. The second halves of these games are pretty well, some people think the first halves are unwatchable. The second halves are even more unwatchable, though. You get a lot of walk-ons in, a lot of people you never heard of, a lot of third, fourth, fifth string players that you're never going to see play a snap in real life. Did I just see Tom Allen on Penn State sidelines? I don't know. I'm not watching that one. This is coming from a Tennessee fan. Georgia will win all 3 of those road games. That's not what I want to happen, but it will happen, says Tip Jackson. It could. I mean, Georgia doesn't have a problem on the road. Some teams struggle on the road. You can't say that about Georgia. They went up to Tennessee last year and completely dismantled them after everybody spent a year telling me and everybody else that, they're not going to be able to win on the road in Knoxville. It's the best home field environment. Blah, blah, blah. Georgia went up there and completely dismantled them. Georgia has won how many games in a row at Auburn? You know how hard it is to win at Auburn? Bama man, do you know? Bama man, ask Bama man how hard it is to win at Auburn. How far back do I have to go to find a loss by Georgia on the road at Auburn? Georgia plays at Auburn every other year. Auburn is like 3-18 in the last 21 games against Georgia. 2017 they beat us. And I think Georgia has only lost at Auburn one other time this century. I think Georgia's only lost twice this century at Auburn. Maybe 3 times. I think it's only twice, though. And they've played there 12, 13 times, whatever it is. So, Georgia's a good road team, but that's 3 tough games in 3 tough environments. Ole Miss, Bama, and Texas. To win at those 3 places in the same year, I don't think Georgia can do it. Uncle Lou, Penn State spring game on Big Ten Network right now. Thank you, Wendy. Now Florida down bad is just a fact. Yeah, Florida is down bad. They've had 3 losing seasons in a row. I don't know what the literal definition of down bad is, but it's got to be pretty close to 3 losing seasons in a row. UJ has good luck against Auburn, bad luck against Bama. Well, Georgia's been outcoached by Bama. There's been, a couple of the losses, Bama was just a better team. A couple of the losses, though, I feel like Georgia was the better team and they just got outcoached. 2021 SEC championship game, Georgia was clearly a better team than Bama. They got massively outcoached in that game. 2017 national title game, Bama was probably the better team in that game, but Georgia still should have won, but they got outcoached. Kirby looks like a lesbian, says Randall Green. I love lesbians. DJ Lagway will be a Heisman contender in June. What? Okay. DJ Lagway's not playing this year, right? He's not starting. He might play mop-up duty when Florida's getting beat by 40 in the second half of all their games, but Graham Mertz is your starter. DJ Lagway is a true freshman who may or may not be starting in 2025. Who's this in at quarterback now that's number 26? Who is that? Is that Puglisi? Who the fuck gives a quarterback number 26? Florida schedule in 25 is just as bad as this year. Y'all should go look at it. Brutal. Napier is dead man walking. Well, every SEC team's schedule is the same in this year and next year with the home and away games reversed. And then whatever differences there may or may not be in the non-con schedule. So like this year, Florida plays Miami and UCF in the non-con. and Florida State. I don't know who they play in the non-con the following year. But as far as their SEC schedule goes in 25, it's the same as it is in 24. It's just reversed. What a throw by GN13. I don't know who that is. They play Miami in 25 too? Okay. Moody. I don't know who these people are for Georgia, which tells me it's probably time to end the stream. They got the walk-ons and the woozies in now, and people whose great-granddaddy played for Georgia back in the 70s, and that's the only reason they're on the team. So I think we're going to shut it down. I'll be back at 4 o'clock on Patreon. Link in the description of the video. You can click on that link, check out the Patreon page. Come hang out with us at 4 o'clock. We'll watch Kalen DeBoer make his debut as head coach at Alabama in their spring game, and plus whatever else is on at that time. And then again, as soon as the Alabama game ends, for those of you who are on the Bleacher Report app or who have the Bleacher Report app or whatever, I'll be live on Bleacher Report as soon as the Alabama spring game ends to talk about the Alabama spring game. So appreciate y'all tuning in today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good morning.